Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this episode, we're going to talk about my journalistic essay. You will know what are the features, what are the ideas behind it. Finally, I have to tell you that I have mixed feelings about my university process because in less than 2 years or maybe 1 year, um, I'm going to start my professional career and my life at uni will end. So let me tell you, for me, school should be one of the safest places on earth, where students have the possibility to live together with others in harmony. But sometimes, unfortunately, there's a set of characteristics or problems that reverse the essence of school. And they can be they can be characterized, for example, as drug trafficking, drug abuse, drug in general. Lack of resources for the school facilities to implement better programs, also to foster a better atmosphere for students, also a better atmosphere for teachers. And finally, my most concerning point, because my essay goes around bullying and violence. So how these factors are related to suicide. Yeah. So when talking about suicide, we have to consider two main points, at least for me. The first one has to do with the failed act of suicide, and the other with actually committing suicide. The first one is a kind of desperate way to get support. For example, when a person feels lonely, or that person is not getting the appropriate medical support, psychological support, or doesn't have friends. So that person could think that it is a big problem. Yeah, it is a big problem, but it is not a situation that will last forever, because I think that is momentarily that person is suffering that problem, because one day you can be really bad. For example, in the next month, that situation eventually will get better. So that people shouldn't take that kind of decision so fast. And on the other hand, we have a person commits suicide, which is a strong decision that people take that entails leaving your space in the world empty. So you're no longer physically here. Your ideas, your person, all behind you is no longer with us. So nonetheless, when you have that shocking image in our minds, which is even worse when we think what were the methods used. For example, they can be either violent or non-violent. The first one has to do with, for example, when we use when you use violence, for example, shootings, hangings, and non-violence are related to, for example, poisonings, when a person uses gas, or when a person abuses medicine. So the idea here is not to give you details about this, because I don't want to take ideas from this. So what I want to explain so you can understand better this problem. So now let me tell you a story that I witnessed when I was in school, in like third or fourth grade. which for me is very personal, and I don't want to be very explicit, or I want to be very yeah, I don't want to be very explicit. So the thing is, I don't want to speak the name of this person because, as I told you, it's very personal. So um, during my during my experience at in primary school, a girl was enrolled in the middle of the academic year. Then I was assigned to then she was assigned to my classroom, but this was quite weird because no one cared of that situation. For me, um, now for me it's really weird because no one cared. Not the authorities of the school or the teachers, so they let this situation pass. She was After a while she was left out from the group, and then she was bullied by the other guys. She was victim of harassment. She was victim of violence. She had many times to defend herself very violently because she was alone, and she was put in a circle, and the other guys tended to shout shout at her. So yeah, she was also victim of bullying. After like some 5 years, I don't know, an ex-classmate, because I moved from to another school, so an ex-classmate contacted me through Facebook, and she told me that she had committed suicide. And I think that many of these reasons were an important factor for this decision. So yeah, this is a very bad situation. So now that you know this story, I'd like to complement it. Number for Feldman, Donoso, and Wright in a study conducted in 2013. The situation is very great. For example, in a classroom of 30 students, um, uh, between 6 to 17 students are related in some way to bullying. Um, it can be by being the aggressor, the victim, or both. So when we have this kind of situation, in my opinion, first what we have to do is to spot who's the aggressor, so we can investigate what are the reasons behind this. So we can intervene and create a plan of action. The study conducted by the same researcher indicates that um, those who are inside of the circle of violence um, have a rate of 3 to 5 times more than those who are not of committing suicide. And the Ministry of Health in Chile categorized the suicide as the second cause of death between children of 8 to 18 years old. In conclusion, we as a society haven't dealt with this topic properly, because students prefer to take away their lives instead of open their hearts to us, or maybe to the educational institutions. This is a sign that we have failed as a in conclusion. Suicide is a terrible topic that we as a society haven't approached properly. The fact that students prefer to take away their lives instead of speak openly about their feelings to us or to the educational institutions is a sign that we as a society are continually failing to our students. So we have to aim to create proactive policies that protect the lives of our students, and also we have to empower the psychological departments of the schools to encourage students to find the help that they need. Therefore, if you feel overwhelmed by any reason, don't feel ashamed to look for help or to look for support, because that any bad decision that you take entails your whole family. Just remember that behind you there's a lot of people that loves you. So just keep in mind that there are a lot of people that's behind you and is supporting you.